coulda, woulda, shoulda. DMG could have solidified their position for playoffs. They couldn't. And Venom Crest are still fighting. The shadow is no longer a shadow. It's an opportunity for them at the end of the rainbow. But let's talk about this game before we move forward, because this was an interesting one. We expected DMG to win. Everybody was looking at DMG champion select. What happened?
Venom Crest played very, very well. They had a strictly better draft. I think this has been an issue we've seen multiple times today, where teams just draft all AD, forgetting that tanks are a thing in the game, and they can then just easily itemize for it. That was a major issue. I just also think DMG didn't play very well this game. They looked very scrambled, very miscoordinated. Nothing seemed to have a clear goal. And then eventually, I mean, they just couldn't hurt the Poppy. Like, that Poppy was just eating damage, and, you know, Bucci, who was the guy I had all my faith in, went 0-4. It just crumbled. It just completely crumbled for DMG and built gap Bucci, which is something I didn't expect to see.
Yeah, I will say the Poppy, it was what I talked about before, right? Going in, I said the Poppy would be the key factor. It could be a real crumbling moment because it does a lot of damage. It could potentially neutralize the Cassante, and it went that one step further than I even expected, which was just neutralizing essentially everyone in the game. But also, I feel like there wasn't that kind of priority that I would have expected from DMG around Namex to play for that bot side. They kind of had an early success. They got 2 kills early on, but then we didn't really see a lot of ganks. We didn't really see a lot of plays. And actually, on the flip side, we did see Venom Crest really invest in getting ahead that Kaiser and really shutting down the Lucian, which obviously ended up being a little bit of a difficult situation when you then had Lenny, who was just essentially unkillable in the game. So I think realistically for me, DMG, they kind of picked a tough to execute comp and then didn't play to any of the win conditions, and obviously, well, there's only one real result from them.
Venom Crest, just as you stated, they worked as a team, and at the end, they were on top of the game. So let's talk with Simpy from Venom Crest after their victory versus DMG. Welcome! How are we
Hello.
feeling?
Good.
Good. Okay, who brought in the Poppy angle? That was a massive.
I mean, I don't remember, but we already played Poppy, so we see Cassante, Jon, and Sejoni, and we're like, okay, Poppy.
You want to dash, well, Poppy. Operation Stop. So tell me, with this victory, it puts you in a really good position looking into playoffs. Is there any team that you're fearful of facing towards the end of the split, or are you comfortable any team whatsoever is manageable by Venom Crest?
No, I think like all teams can be beaten. I think the team I fear the most is Venom Crest because they are one day they look really good and the other day they look complete bonobo, but it's fine.
So when we're talking about we look really good, we look really bad, I'm looking into your stats and it's like a win, a loss, a win, a loss, a win, a loss, a win, a loss. Talk to me, man. Simply.
I mean, the last weeks is like, I think we finished 1-1, no? Like, I mean, as you say, no? Like a lot of times, and it didn't look really good for us because we kind of, I think, lost the important one, or even some random games we shouldn't lose. So we have been working on our mistakes, like, and I think it's showing up internally a bit. Even though today game, I mean, it was fine, but it can be better. So
I don't know if I'm getting a good vision or a good angle on this. By the way, bless you, man. I feel like you're a little bit sick, so
yeah.
Recovery on that. I mean, you've played solo queue, so obviously you're sick. I understand. So when I look into your games and I make I analyze your games, it jumps to me the fact that whenever you guys go into big late game, like plus 35 minutes, you lose. Every single time you lose, it's plus 40 minutes. Is there like is that a line that is connecting the dots right now, or am I dead wrong?
I mean, I think like in some of these games we should have lost earlier, but we hold the game. So we went really into late game. Like last week, I think we had 40-minute game that we should have lost earlier, I think, but we managed to hold in. And yeah, I mean, for sure, like we troll a lot in mid to late game. I mean, that's a fact. Like, we know, like, it's not our greatest, but yeah, we are we are working on it, as I said, and yep.
You're going to be fighting versus Nords, Natives, and LLS. Is there any chance you don't make playoffs?
No.
No.
We are in playoff for sure.
100%. And if you make playoffs,
Yeah.
is there any team you don't want to face at the beginning of the gauntlet?
I don't know. I mean, I think
It's
it's
a spicy one. It's whatever.
yeah, but I mean, who is like? I mean, I know it's Rudy Nord, us, and what is the other team in?
Nobody
in the
knows. It could be
race?
DMG, it could be Verdant. There's a lot of openings still.
I mean, okay, then it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, I see it. Hey, Cynthia,
fine.
thank you so much for the conversation. I wish you the best as
Thanks as
well.
well.
Quick recoveries. Have a nice one, man.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Bye bye.
And it's Lenny. He brings in the poppy. He doesn't allow people to move. This is important.
Lenny was a menace. Lenny was a real problem in this game. Completely
Yes, he
shut
was.
down. Shut down anything they wanted to do. And I mean, this is a big win for Venomcrest because now it ties them with DMG and potentially Nord. That's the biggest one. The outcome of this next game determines a lot for Nord because they could get this win over Lightside and then that puts them tied with Ruddy in first place. Or they lose this game and literally nothing on the standings other than Venomcrest moving up changes because Venomcrest getting this win, they're now tied with DMG. If Nord lose the next game, they're then tied with Nord, DMG, and Venomcrest are all tied together in a nice little bundle towards the top of the tables. So while today has probably been it's been an upset day, let's be real. All of the teams who have won have actually had less wins than the teams they're playing versus, who are lower down in the table. So if Nord take this win here, they springboard themselves above two other teams and put themselves tied for first and give themselves the best run possible in the playoffs, or the best chance of playing in the playoffs. Well, chance of being in the best spot in the playoffs possible, because we are running out of time in this season and things are still very, very tight. This is a big opportunity to overtake multiple teams in the standings in a single day. And these little wins are the difference makers getting closer towards the playoffs because of how tight things are at the top of the table.
Yeah, I think from standing point, essentially, this win makes it even harder for Verdant to get themselves secured. Now, I think they have to win out, and essentially, they need at least one of those two teams to kind of lose all of their next games. So realistically, it's not looking very good. But this is the moment where Lightside could sneak in, right? And I'm really hoping they do, because my predictions are on the line, right? I lost 3 for the last one. And I don't want to lose 3 more. I don't want to go on 0 for my day off.
You're letting the guests down, man. The guest spot's been on fire. And Jerry was coming in and just throwing a dynamite stick into that.
Jerry, what is happening? We talked about it with every single guest. If you make a prediction wrong, you're kicked.
Damn.
What is happening, G-Real?
Yo,
let's-
but I'm saying,
Let's show
one thing I'll
predictions
say.
again. I want to see it. I want to see it
I gotta-
again.
I
Keep
gotta
talking.
I
defend
don't
myself.
want to see it.
I want to see predictions. I want to see them. But keep talking, G-Real.
I'm going to defend myself here, because all I'm saying is I heard some other guests come on. You know, they were kind of flippant with some of their picks. They didn't necessarily stick with their teams. You know, I'm backing all my boys. You know, all of the NLC people I'm backing. So the Div 2 boys, I got you. You know, whether I go down with them, that's their fault. You know, that's on them. You know, you need to do it for me. You need to play with pride today.
I'll give it to him. He has, you know, he's been a man of conviction today. Actually, sorry, I had a complete brain fart. I forgot Ruddy won their game. I said all of the teams who have won, they won't. Oh my word! In my head, Verdant won because we've had so many upsets today. So, if you are watching in the past, discard everything I just said because it was complete waffle and it means nothing. Verdant. Sorry, if Nord win this, they're still 1 point behind Ruddy. They just overtake DMG and Venomcrest. I'm a clown. That's what I am. I'm hoping this is champ select so I can get out. Oh my god. We're in champ select. I am such a moron.
I was going to communicate that you were not that right, but
no,
I'm glad you can do it by yourself.
Don't worry.
You can do it by
you
yourself.
don't have to beat around the bush with me, bro. There's no barricading around this bush. I'm just a complete clown. So, Hui getting banned away. Zyra getting banned away as well. It's nice to see, but people are respecting the Zyra because she's very, very impactful in the jungle. Incredibly fast clear speed, incredibly fast objective taker as well. The Varus getting banned away. So some interesting bans coming in. There's the Tristana J Real. If we see a Corki ban, you might have a fun mid.
No, but NORD have left it open. Free Fresh, he's the Dragon Master, right? Swain,
oh yeah.
Smolder and the Aurelian Soul. Neither banned, both open. Hey yo, this could be a good day. This could be light side. This is what I'm looking forward to.
But also leaving open the
there,
Nidalee. Right? Keep that in mind, the Nidalee.
That is a good point.
That is a big point. There's a big point. Right, let's see what they're going to first pick up here. I feel Corki is probably a pretty comfortable pick up here for NORD. Give that to Hunt. Just set yourself up comfortably. Unless they've been practicing the Smolder in the background. There is a world where that could come in. They actually decide to go for the Rel as their first pick up here. Light side. Like you said, Smolder, Aurelian Soul, even the Ziggs is available to Fruity Fresh. I don't expect any of those to kind of get blind picked. In fact, I think they're probably comfortable in the fact that Fruity is the one who has these champs in their pool and Ecstasy doesn't. So they probably won't look to try and immediately pick one of those things up. There could be a Corki here. There could be a Maokai. There could be a Lilia, a Karthus. There's plenty of picks available to them. Corki, pretty much a set pick up there. Expect this to be an AP jungler. I think a Lilia, Karthus, Brand available to Bart Holdy, and I think those are probably what you're going to be looking for.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised I went for Corki here. I feel like Sumi has such a breadth of champion pool, you know, like we saw Tryndamere, Nasus come in earlier, that maybe I was expecting something a little bit different, but I guess it's late stages. They need to try and clarify this game out so the Corki goes well. The Rakan as well, I think it's a really nice pickup. It can be a little bit difficult into the Rel, but I think all in all, definitely allows for a lot of potential play because Free Fresh is quite happy to farm in his lane and let the support roam, so it does work out well.
That was fast.
Maokai and a Yone getting locked in. A lot. 3 out of 4 games has had a Yone in today. So Yone really, really big here in the NLC. Team's absolutely loving that one. Now, moving over to light side, they could look to just pick themselves up an ADC and ban away things that can deal, or a bot laner, things that can deal with it, or they can go down the jungle route. It looks to me like the jungle route is available. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this brand isn't necessarily guaranteed to go into the bot lane. No, sorry, into the jungle. Fruity, we know, plays weird champions in the bot lane, plays mages. I mean, Rakan Brand, I'm not sure where the synergy is. I guess you kind of keep people grouped up for the ults and all the passives. But realistically, that is a thing that could show up. And there is a little bit of mind gaming that can come in. I expect it to go in the jungle. Its clear speed, its grub taking is unparalleled, other than like maybe Zyra. So I expect to see that, but they are banning away ADCs at this point, knowing that Fruity still has a very flexible champion pool, and they can pinch Ecstasy out of more ADCs going forwards.
That's why they don't believe it, and they're bringing out this Smolder as a ban, 100% win rate for Fruity Fresh. We've seen it before. So they're keeping that brand on the jungle position for now. On the other side, they also want to chip away the AD carries coming in from Ecstasy, which is an amazing hyper carry player. Yoka usually enables him. But if you remove that, maybe you can hit him a little bit.
Yeah, I will say the brand Rakan, it sounds a little bit like the Icarus lane. You know, you're just going to fly too high and get burned. I don't think it's the way. But I will say the Smolder, Free Fresh got Challenger on this pick like almost immediately when it came out. It was pretty crazy. Obviously, that is now the different Smolder to what we have on the base game. But it's still another ban. I am expecting Aurelian, but it's Swain. Okay, it's Swain, which is also another pick that they've played. So the Aurelian is open. It's what I want to see. Like, okay, they let me down. All right.
Going for the Zyra Rakan, a tried and tested bot lane, a more traditional bot lane as well. My main concern for Lightside right now is they don't have a frontliner. They are obviously going to be looking to counter pick top lane with something comfortable down there. Ecstasy, hyper carry player, like you said, Archer. Expecting to see, you know, you got the Kai'Sa, you got the I've forgotten his name, Aphelios available as well, but they are just going to go for the Kai'Sa, flexible in its build path, crucially, because right now, fair amount of AD with the fact they've got that Yone locked in, and now looking towards the top side, what are they going to blind pick? I mean, the Skarner's up and available if you wanted to go down that road. Looks like Nilly actually moving away from that and towards something that he can feel a little bit more comfortable piloting, isolated in the top side on this Gnar, but yeah, I'm not massive on a blind pick of the Gnar, so they go for the Ornn. Skarner was up and available, decided not to go for that one though.
Again, low AP in this whole comp, so definitely want to watch out for. Again, the Kai'Sa obviously does 2% HP, so it's not going to be the worst comp, but obviously could be a little bit dangerous as we're seeing that last pick being hovered. One thing I will say though is Bartholdi, obviously, well, as long as I've known them, has been quite a setup jungler, right? Plays things at early game, tries to get the game going, not necessarily the biggest carry, and I think this is the first time they're playing a carry pick, right? So it is going to be interesting to see how they switch that one up. The Aatrox going to be going over to Elijah, which I do like, because Elijah has played a mixture of tanks and carries, and if we look at the Rumble performance recently that they had, it was pretty insane. So I definitely am liking this switch up a little bit. We're giving a little bit more impotence over to Elijah, but I'm now interested how Bartholdi's going to feel on this brand. Obviously definitely been practiced, but it's not something we're used to, I think, from this 5v5.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of just having a quick analysis of the teams. NORD have a very capable team fighting team. There's a lot of crowd control. They only have 2 damage dealers, but they have a lot of frontline for those damage dealers to kind of like be peeled for. Kai'Sa obviously very flexible and versatile in her build paths that can maybe fulfill some of that lack of AP, but the lack of AP isn't really an issue, because when you look on the other side, Lightside don't have a tank. They have a frontline in Aatrox, but he's not a strict tank. Everyone else is very squishy. Very, very powerful jungler, very potent team fighting capabilities from that brand, so that could play a factor in this. But I do think, just looking at the comps, NORD have a more rounded comp, where Lightside, they have to kind of execute everything perfectly, or the foundations aren't there and it could crumble away from them.
This is a match where they have to win if they want to keep that fight on towards the playoffs. The standings are still shifting towards the day. J-Real, final words as the guest. Who do you think is going to take it?
I'm still going to back the boys. I still think the 3 points might be secured, but the thing is as we said, right, I think NORD has drafted a very good, solid team comp, right? It's very hard to argue with things that are quite simple to pull off, right? They have the standard stuff that they would have played time and time again. I do think that Lightside are kind of pushing the boat out a bit, which I do respect a lot, because we're coming to the crunch. You can't just be playing what wasn't working. They're 5-5 right now, so maybe switching up could bring more wins. And I will say, if they can keep it steady up until 15-20 minutes, I think they could assure this win. Maybe I would have preferred a tank, but you know what? At the end of the day, sometimes you just got to send it. I'm here to see them win.
Sometimes you have to send it. I love that one, as you send it to the casters one more time on that day, week 6. They won in initialize. No, it's Duckling in veteran. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, Ashram. Duckling start. Come on, production. Start the game then. I'm the one responsible for it. Start the game then, production.
Why aren't you starting the game, Duckling?
Yeah, I forgot where the P button is, you know. I'm pressing it, but it doesn't press play. I mean, I guess, I don't know.
I can do it very fast now. NORD basically have an all-in composition.
Wait, veteran.
Like,
stop.
so basically have
Veteran,
no.
stop.
I'm
gonna
you're
start the
elongating.
game. I'm gonna
You're
start the
elongating
game.
it.
There we go. I finally started the game, guys. I got my stuff together and finally pressed play. Veteran, what were you saying before?
I don't want to talk about it.
You got absolutely cooked, you fraud. Anything you want to add?
No.
Is this going to be you for the rest of the game?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No.
So, what were you saying about I think it was NORD comp, right? I assume he might have some shop. Okay.
It's not going to be a level 1, so.
Are you sure? Are you sure Romeo isn't gonna all in here to see if he can get the remount?
Yeah, very. Because my brain isn't drawing out my ears, so.
But what is your brain telling you then?
Nord have an all-in composition. Lightside have an full disengage composition, except for Bot Holdy, who is vulnerable to the Ornn engage, which could lead him vulnerable to Hunt, which could leave him vulnerable to Roach, could leave him vulnerable to everyone. So Bot Holdy is the guy that needs to play somewhat safe. Everyone else is a really easy game from the side of Lightside. If Nord break through the game, it's gonna be just solo kill Steam. Gonna be vulnerable from Lightside. Everyone else in those group situations, more or less playing in their own element.
Yeah, I think it's a good analysis. But definitely playing in a role that he doesn't normally do here. Obviously, always in the jungle, but the champion style differs quite a bit. Nord now getting engaged upon Lightside, wanting the first blood flash as well. Committed ecstasy in trouble. Might just go down, but they can't find the last few autos.
No!
And now Romeo, does let the crash
fine.
down. I thought maybe Lightside have overstayed so much that it would lose one themselves, but they're out.
Need to see Romeo's cooldowns here, because if Romeo's able to move up and be really aggro, it could turn out into a good thing for Nord. Lightside, they need to get the crash, they need to get the bounce back, because they want to get out of that lane. ASAP, as production has selected. See, they did it. They selected Romeo. We see full cooldowns up. That's why Lightside, they can't afford to move forward anymore. They have to hit that B button. They have to hit that recall. Because if they try to contest the next wave, Romeo will be like, suck, I'm going to hold you here right now to the end of day. So Lightside are like, nope, we have to get out of there right now. Or that trade ends up being really, really, really bad, which could lead to Nord getting a superior first back, because they're free to go in on this wave, get the crash, and then recall with much more gold to spend than Fruity Fresh and Fast-Legged were able to do so. So even though the initial trade's very aggressive by Fruity, very aggressive by Fast-Legged, almost turning into a win, overall this could turn to a net loss. Well, say something, Duckling.
Okay, let's say something then. I think something's happening here in the mid lane. Hunt.
You think?
I'm sure something is happening in the mid lane, okay? Bardo is
Right.
here. Romeo is there as well. He's forced to flash
sounds
out.
so.
Now, but important game. And that's all I just wanted to reiterate. So, this will be Nord, if I'm not mistaken. Production hasn't sent it in the chat, so... But it was the... Yeah, forget everything about what I'm about to say, man. I'm saying it's the trade. What I'm saying is, while production hasn't confirmed it to me, like it did the past two games, I think if Nord win this, they are guaranteed playoffs. And you know what playoffs means, right? That means EMEA Masters, blah, blah, blah. Top 2 gets you into the upper bracket, an extra life. We all know this by now.
EMEA Masters, blah, blah, blah. Are you disrespecting the premier tournament of the ERLs?
No.
The highest form of competition these teams can aspire to.
The EMEA Masters is a wonderful tournament. I especially love everything about it. I love when we do well, which isn't often.
Who won last split?
Last split.
Yeah.
I think that was like the Besiktas in the final, I remember, but they lost to Eintracht Spandau.
There you go. I actually thought you weren't going to get it for a second.
What do you mean, man? I've been on the EMEA Masters as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it play-ins?
No. I've been on the main event as well.
Oh.
That's the youngest caster ever, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, aged 18.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Good job. Wow.
And now I'm here, casting with you. I mean, fall from grace, you'd say.
True. True.
Not being in the NLC, but being with you, my friend. That's the fall from grace. As Bato is going towards this trade.
Trust me, I agree with you. From the other side.
Let's see how Nord responds to this play. As Ecstasy and
walk.
Romeo push up. They want by
Yep.
Holdy. Not my
Yep.
fantasy points!
Yeah.
As he's forced to flash
I mean,
out
I'm
the
telling
safety.
you, this guy is mega vulnerable this game. In fact, he is by far the most vulnerable, especially post level 6 of everybody on this team. Immediate flash burn by Romeo, he's going to be able to do something with that later. But imagine the Ornn groups presses R with Bart holding nearby with no flash. If he has flash, it goes. If he doesn't have flash, he goes. Hunt's going to be looking to capitalize on that. He has the 6. He actually hasn't used it on Sumi yet, so Sumi has to be very scared if he decides to stay on the tower here. We'll see if Hunt has the game sense that Brand is nowhere near. He may well go for a 1-for-1 dive.
What I will add to this, though, is I now have confirmation. NORD lock playoffs if they win. Boom. Simple as. But Hundley, though, still on this Drake. He's very committed to the cause here. Should be able to get it down in due time with the help of the Faded Ashes. And Fruity Fresh and Fastlick paying a visit. Can Jokka just walk in here and steal it?
Here we go!
Surely not, he doesn't just do
flash!
This. He's gonna get it,
flash.
no, but Hundley gets it, but he is gonna die, as you say, no flash. First blood to NORD.
Yeah, pretty much any of these objectives probably going to lead to a collapse like this from NORD. That is the guy that need to get their team fed on. If they get their team fed on that guy, maybe they can leverage this into lane advantage, into map advantage, the blah, 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 blah. A lead on League of Legends. This game is 10 years old. Why do you guys need to even be told anything anymore? Like, imagine you've been watching this game for the last, like, decade, and you don't know how it goes from this point onwards. What are we even here for, really, Duckling? Like, everyone knows what's up, no?
So, I mean, everyone can't just think 10 minutes ahead of the exact map movements that should be happening every step of the way, unlike you. And also, I'm here to tell stories about the Danes.
Are there any Danish people here?
Elijah, bro. He's the new Wonder Kid.
Wait, Hunt's Danish,
Hunt's Danish as well.
Yeah. Big
yeah.
shout. Joker is Swedish, right? I think.
It's not Danish. Then I would know.
For you, the world is divided into Danes and non-Danes.
Exactly, bro. Finally, someone who understands.
Great.
Are you Danish? No. Then you are like the rest of the world. As Jokka, able to get one of these white crops. Right side though. Now looking to stop that from happening. As they'll take the next two. What's next now?
This
right?
does mean.
Tell me. Yeah. Tell me what this means.
Well, I mean, this means that potentially the next set of grubs will be really hard contested, but if you just do a staring contest there, Herald will just spawn on top of it. Drake miles away. Herald miles away. No lane in a specific moment of being able to get dived or anything like that. No scuttle spawning. The game's going to calm down a bit now. The game is going to chill, which is time, but Holdy has to get his flash back up. So the window they're likely to have to do anything on Bartholdy is going to be very small. Likely the next time you see Bartholdy, the play from Law will be burn his flash. And then on the next rotation, do something with that burn. But for now, probably a bit chill, a bit more relaxed. We need to find other ways to entertain people, like telling them that they don't really need us. And we're kind of just stealing money from League CG here by doing this job at all. Like, League. You know League.
Here's my next question. Have you lived in any country outside of the UK?
Yeah, loads, dude. You took a photo with me at Berlin, remember?
Yeah. Maybe you're like me, travel down there every week to watch the LLC. I don't do that, by the way, but outside of like Berlin, have you lived in like Uzbekistan or something? I don't know.
I lived in China for actually
Wait, what?
3-4 months.
You
Yeah, I
speak
lived there
Chinese?
for like 3-4 months. No, I do not speak Chinese. I don't speak German.
I speak a bit
Everywhere
of
speaks
Chinese, you know?
English. Oh, well, my girlfriend speaks Chinese actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think we discussed that in the green room once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still very surprised about the fact that
I
you have
lived
a girlfriend,
I lived a long time in America, like so long I needed to get a police certificate for the visa and stuff.
Damn, you
'cause I
did?
just lived there for ages.
What
Yeah.
did you do in America? Where in America?
America?
Coaching?
Los Angeles and Chicago. No, I didn't do any coaching there. I was just because I can do my job anywhere.
Was
Where
it
she
nice?
can only do her job where her job is, so I just stayed there.
How-
No, it's terrible actually.
really?
Honestly, Los Angeles is like Chicago's really good. The place gets a bad rap, but like there's actually human public transport there. The city center has everything. Like I didn't experience this like primal city we were talking about. Chicago City gets a bad rap. Los Angeles, on the other hand, completely unlivable if you don't have a driving license.
Yeah, it's a bit
Like
of a,
literally
it's a bit
just
of,
unlivable.
I've been there just as a tourist for like a week where we rented an apartment, and
So you
it
know what I
was
mean?
unbearable. Yeah, unbearable.
Yep. You have about probably 30 seconds max before stuff starts popping off.
But the thing is, like, I swear to God, the American mind can't comprehend decent public transport. It's absolutely insane. Let's see what happens here, though.
There
Good
we go.
engage. Jokka is here as well. Fruity Fresh the main target, but he goes up. The feathers fly out. Good damage back on Ecstasy, but it won't really matter. As fast like nicely dashes out to safety. Well executed.
Yeah.
On the side of light side to buy themselves
Here we go.
a minute more, or maybe just a few more
at-
seconds because NORD
Look at Corky Brand, they're
still
coming in
won't
as well.
give up. Hunt came there to show his
Oh
face
my
that
God,
gave
it's
the
gonna
kill double
pop!
to Ecstasy. More is happening as you say. It's gonna pop, baby. TP's in as
Here
well.
we go!
Elijah wants something.
Fight!
Bartu wants the kill on Hunt. Dane v Dane matchup, and it's Bartu who comes out on top. Romeo standing strong, but that's a good two-man interrupt. Elijah slams down with the World Ender. Nile next up on the menu, but he has his flash, and that's the escape that he wanted. It's the play NORD started, but it's Lightside who in the extended run win.
I love the gladiatorial arena of League of Legends sometimes. They just like nothing for ages and then right on cue, fight to the death. Everybody down here may the best man win, and Lightside, they honestly get one up. They're able to get the Drake here. I'm very surprised that NORD went for the gank engage instead of just going for the straight dive. That caught me a little bit off guard, clearly caught them off guard. Bland, Corky, they were able to get the time they needed to get down there to be able to join the fight and expand into what was our first 5v5 of the game. Entirely on bot lane, entirely around this Drake, which will be played by Lightside. Next Drake for them will be Soul Point. The globs are coming up. Lightside taking a step back, getting their recalls off, getting the map set up, because remember, they already have 2 globs. So NORD at most can get 4. That magical 5 number will not be given to NORD by giving up these globs. And then in a couple of minutes time, you're gonna have the Herald spawn. If you wanted to burn any critical flashes, now would be a good time, but the only one really left up is Ecstasy's flash. So Lightside have all got all the setup that they want when it comes to the Herald contest, and I do expect them to contest the Herald, but Holdy, no flash again, so NORD will be hyper-focusing him, especially if it all sums up on Ecstasy. Land that knock-up, get some follow-up, and then get Ecstasy pressing R bot. Holdy will fall, and then see if the rest of the enemy team is split up from that. Fruity Fresh, ult up in 5 seconds will be a big thing for him. Elijah, ult up right now will be a big thing. They need to save that for the next wave, because that's when they want to start playing really hard for that Herald.
As you say, Herald, up in just that minute, Drake has been taken. It was Lightside who got that on the back of their previous play. It was such a slow game up until we finally suddenly had a 5v5 brawl in the bot lane. Great
Suddenly,
bit of,
I literally told you.
Yeah, you
right
told me.
ahead of time.
Come on, man.
Oh,
and now you're interrupting my next play-by-play. That is absolutely horrible.
I told you this was happening, by the way, like 2 minutes ago.
But then you yap for 2 minutes and I don't get time to add anything. Veteran. I did appreciate the warning before telling me at 30 seconds, but it still came out of, a bit of nowhere. Maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds warning before. I think you said stuff was gonna happen. I thought it was gonna be this 3v3 in the bot lane. I didn't expect a full-on 5v5 to happen down there.
So we got sure. I mean, we got the. In fairness, I'm surprised that all the TPs went down. I did think it would be more like a 3v3, 4v4 as well. I expected mids to be there. I didn't expect the slam TPs. Aatrox, though, able to proxy the next wave, able to get a pretty decent back. They're going to set up on bot side, doesn't have to teleport. This indicates that they don't think NORD have what it takes to go for the Herald in a straight 4v4 scenario. They are aware that they're working on a no TP situation now, but Nilla's TP will be up for a full wave that Elijah won't have his up for. So Elijah has to be in the position to play really aggro on the Ornn, but it's still a short lane on bot. No tier 1s are down, so interesting premise. NORD could come out on top on the Herald contest were it to happen.
Let's see if they come out on top in that scenario. Veteran. That's NORD pushing the mid lane at the moment. More lights and spikes.
Okay, started it. Yeah, he started it.
Say, Yucca started it up. And Elijah though.
Nilla TP up.
Not there. No TP. You say Nilla has the TPs on the bot side as well. Rotation in from Hunt. And
yeah, they got it.
Yeah, they'll claim the Herald.
Yeah, I mean, the moment Lightside send Elijah on bot side there, NORD have everything that they need to be able to take this fairly uncontested. Now, we see Heralds be utilized for map contests, we see them utilized for Drake contests. Both options are up for NORD. Let's see what Memento's lineup decides their priorities are. I feel like a smart jungler will always go for tempo, but a selfish jungler will always go for Drakes. Let's see which one Memento's trained Joker to be going for. Honestly, either works here, because you're already hitting on top side, so you can save to break open midsection and expand the map open in your favor as NORD. So tell a bit of a lie there. Just wanted to whip Memento a little bit. If he crashes off tier 2 though, I feel that is extremely based, and honestly, what matters more than being based?
I don't know. I want to know though, Veteran, what young slang do you use? I mean, based is still very good slang. I do like it, but is there any other slang that you like to use? Do you use a skippity riz or?
I've never even heard of that.
Never even heard of that.
I've heard of Riz.
Of Riz, yeah, that's been there for quite a while, yeah. And then I grew too old for it, and then when I started being a substitute teacher, I realized the kids did use that young Riz. Not young Riz, that young slang. And that includes Riz. And then there's many other...
I mean, name slang words and I'll let you know. We do have a fight happening on the next wave.
Like Ohio, Rizless, Skibbity Toilet, I don't know, man. Some of those stuff.
These are all variants on Wiz, no?
No. I mean, Ohio is just a state, but apparently Ohio is where stuff goes down.
I've been to Ohio.
Yeah, stuff does not go down there in Ohio, or did you get
really.
Ohio Sigma Wrist by Living Gun? I don't know. Oh, Furastek finds two!
I told you.
That's such a good wombo combo there, actually. But the damage, not good enough to get anything else out of it, though. Forces a flash.
But it's good enough to get full priority on the Drake, right? Now Nord, they're thinking twice about trying to do anything to the big light side, as light side get the soul point on this Drake. Hunt trying to get some damage out on Elijah, might be able to force light side off just by doing that. Light side, I'm not sure you need to be that worried about this. You already knew this was going down. You've cleared, but now Nord, they're the ones that are getting the full priority on the Drake.
Huh?
You have that ultimate up on Nilla, but Holdy does have flash on this round, so not as vulnerable as he otherwise might be. You could burn the flash.
Hunt for them,
There's a combo!
No way, he got them both! You absolute beauty of a Dane! Double kill for Nilla. The Drake to be theirs as well, Elijah. Can't do anything, Hunt, you beauty!
I thought you were doing really good then you were like the Dane, so that's why.
You realize I started that play-by-play call in Danish, right?
No, I didn't. Incidentally, I agree. Hunt, phenomenal setup there. We talked about the Ornn with the follow-up by Hunt, but it was Hunt with the follow-up by Ornn to finish off the play for Hunt there. Brilliant side control by him. Going straight on but Holdy, now no flash and the death, and obviously just did not have a lick of HP left to be able to finish off that Drake. The soul point denied from light side, even though the initial play gave them some advantage. That Herald play that we were talking about, dropping it on mid to contest for the Drake, they did it. They successfully break light side straight into it. They would have been happy either way. They technically a map win, but light side would have been in a position to fight their way back. Instead, Nord have both a map win, and they've denied light side the ability to dictate the terms in 3.5 minutes time of the map. So a full victory by Nord there.
Yeah, crucial for my predictions, to be honest. I don't want to lose 6 points today. Terribly sorry to refocus the conversation there, as I always do. As the Baron is up in a minute's time. Is there anything you feel like must be said in this conversation, Veteran, before we reach that point?
I hate you.
You had to throw that in there. I was planning before to make a joke about, you know, your dismissal or something, but sadly I forgot the original punch. So now the line has been forgotten as well. That was woeful, actually. That was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, you are.
Why in this conversation, how am I the one more mature one than you? Aren't you pushing 30, buddy? Are you pushing going into like the elder home or something? Whatever what do you call it in England? Oh, I think I call this an engage. A bad one at that as well from Romeo. Flies wide, fast legs, finds escape. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of awkward laughter for someone who's trying to go on the aggressive, by the way.
Go on the aggressive. It's because I'm forgetting the punch like before I even mentioned.
I don't think you've reached that stage of puberty where you can be intimidating yet, can you?
I can by no means be intimidating, blow up, bro. I get blown away by a gust of wind. I can never be intimidating.
Don't worry, Duckling. I will not use your youth and inexperience against you.
I actually know about that joke. That was from the political race in America between that was the debate.
The only one.
I can't remember. I think it was
I mean, you must have covered it in school recently, Duckling.
No, we do not cover one political. We do not cover a political joke in school. And we don't have to learn about an entire political system. But I am gonna say though, I am pretty certain that was Ronald Reagan, right? Who used it against like the governor who was way younger than him. Or I am mistaken.
Yes, good job. I remember going.
Was that correct? Was that correct, or was I wrong? Thank you. No, that is not because of high school. That is because I have a genuine interest in American politics.
You have a genuine interest in American politics,
yeah.
So you know one of the most quoted debates.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, ask any other 20-year-old in my country, and I guarantee maximum 5% of people will say that, because that is not what we are taught about. We're taught about Trump, we're taught about America, we're taught about the polarization of the current American system, we're taught about how it works, right? With the whole three traditional...
Duckling, I believe you. I believe you.
Thank you.
Because I've met their teachers and one of them is you.
Oh my god, I'm not teaching high school, buddy. I'm teaching kids. Baron is still on the map, by the way. Can someone please do something so we can stop this conversation?
I know when nothing's gonna happen and I can just rid you for a long time. This is the beauty.
Dude, that's the thing, you're outlining me because you can tell me exactly 20 chess moves ahead what is gonna happen in this map. So while all I do, I look at the map, and if something's about to happen, of course I'm gonna see it. I'm not blind yet. But you can sit there saying, at exactly 24 minutes and 30 seconds, a fight will break out. That's the first fight after the segment, so I don't have time to find Roast and Duckling and his lack of education in the Danish education system.
True!
It's absolutely genius, and I hate you for it.
Dude, those W's from guys that are starting to hurt, and all she has, by the way, is just now she's had an Amazon to it, but she just had a blasting one on that, and I was already thinking, okay, maybe they just start going aggro earlier. It's still difficult to just straight dive Fruity Fresh on the tower, right? Man just slams R. It's still difficult to just straight dive an Aatrox. Man just slams R. But not difficult to find Bartholdi in those situations. And if
they started the Baron. They're on the Baron, buddy. You haven't caught this.
They need this. They need this. Like, they need Lightside to go. Lightside actually have no clue.
They don't do anything. They have no clue what's going on.
Actually, they know now. They know now, but they're too late. Is that TP? Wait. Did Sumi just TP into mid tower?
What? They don't know this is happening.
They know it's happening.
Like stealing candy from a baby. It's too easy for NORD.
Yeah, I mean, they can't actually do anything from it in that.
And they only
get engaged on no matter what.
Dude, that is a fantastic price. That's a Tesco meal deal if I've ever seen one. And I haven't, by the way.
Now that, I had an extended conversation in 2 settings now. Like, I had one earlier about like 2 p.m. IRL, and then I came on here and it was J-Rail and Hip Rain on, and we got to talk more about Mildis. All about Mildils all day today, actually. That's a good one. I think a Baron Nashor would be a good part of a Mildil.
I will probably be full after eating one. That's all I'll say, yes, sir.
You have to say that.
What? Why are you making that weird? What? I
didn't make anything weird.
Please get me out of here. NORD trying desperately.
I think
NORD
probably in a good position here to win the game, having just
Dude, that is Duckling level analysis. I can say that. I can look at the map and say, yes, NORD in a good position. I think my sister, who's played maybe 3 games of League of Legends, could tell me that as well.
Wow.
Is that all you're gonna say? Just wow?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the thing is, light side, right? Now, they have a soul point, yes. They have 1.5 item on a Corgi. They 2 items now. So are they 1 item away from something? I mean, we have to remember, Elijah is still pretty strong. Like, if we had a 5v5, could Lightside theoretically still get something done? Because this game doesn't feel as over
like they want
as
it.
the past one.
They want it under tower, and what NORD have been brilliant about is making sure that these fights are happening in more like river situations. If you can have it in this kind of constrained lane here, theoretically the catch potential for Nilla would be big, but also the fact that Elijah is there.
Romeo's cool.
Yeah, see, Romeo.
This is a really good setup actually. They found one already. Sumi, she got a bit of the damage. Pass it a bit too far forward, but Nilla, I think instead as well, Elijah from the flank, he's found exactly who he wants. Honto fighting to bring this fight back in the favor, and Ecstasy plays it so well, but it's not done yet. Elijah still strong, world and alive, but Holdy gone, but could he potentially clutch this 1v2? It is a very important moment for not just this game, but Lightside's playoff hope as well. But NORD though, take this win and push further towards the Nexus and further towards securing that playoff spot.
If you can funnel them in, if you can just funnel NORD in and make them have to run through Elijah, make them have to run through
the Danish 1v1 here. Pull back though. Hunt, will he win it? Slap? Oh my Elijah! God! That's the rookie that I've been wanting to see. And he's showing up when it matters most.
What was it today? Top of solo kills? Maintaining that with this game as well, right? But the big thing you are seeing when it comes to these dives, it's very difficult when you actually have no choice but to go through the light side composition. NORD's composition does have to go through them. Very, very, very vulnerable. And that was a split fight, right? There was essentially a 2v2 happening on the left and a 3v3 happening on the right. So that wasn't even light side at their full positional power. you could say. And you have to end this through tier 3s. Nord have no choice but to do so. They want to try to drag them out, but the next object coming up is the Drake. And Lightside, they'd love to have the Soul. They don't have to take that Drake. It would just be a second Ocean Drake for Nord, and Oceans are completely useless for the way that Nord want to end the game. Could be very useful for Lightside if Lightside were able to get them basically invincible on those tier 3s, but Nord, they need to drag these guys out into a bit of a more open field, separate them, scatter the weak, so to speak, like that.
Exactly what you said.
That's a good example, to be
that's
honest.
perfect. Did you know that as well? This would happen 2 minutes ago?
Well, I mean, it's a split scenario, so there's a chance that it would happen here, but, like, honestly, I'm going to be real. I figured Sumi might play a little bit safer than just...
Oh, Bas was caught out as well. This is really bad for Lightside.
And no flash,
He's just dead.
So... Well, there you go. Now, they've drawn them out successfully without even having to wait for the objective to come up. They just walked in.
So reset now, maybe go for the Drake that's happening in 50 seconds. Secure that, or secure the denial of the soul. Lucas Lightside. If something is to happen, yes, you can give Sumi and Fruity Fish time, but at the moment, it is
Only
Elijah.
that, by the way.
It is Elijah. Man, what a performance from him. And I mean this wholeheartedly. I like to keep a good repertoire of all the Danish wonder kids that's coming up, and Elijah wasn't one I had spotted before I saw him on Lightside. Very intrigued at what this kid could bring to the table, and you mentioned it before, he's top of the solo kill chart. But yeah, he's had one hell of a split as a rookie. Really, really promising player here. Finishing mid-table in NLC Division 2 just last year. He'll now have to try and get themselves over the line, but the flank is phenomenal! It is absolutely brilliant, and in the front line is Elijah, and he can't take off all that damage. Lightside are scattered, Lightside are defeated, and NORD look to book that playoff place on the back of a massive flank from Yoka.
Wow, unbelievable right there. Everything we say goes straight out the window because it's not a 5v5 anymore. Just come at them from multiple angles there. You don't have to go through them. You can go through any angle you want. And NORD have decided to take the angle that takes them through in towards the Nexus, in towards the victory, and in towards a playoff and EMEA Masters booking.
Yeah, tickets booked, planes booked. They are going to playoffs and they're going to represent the NLC at the EMEA Masters. NORD improved their score to 8-2 and got what they came for.
There's a chap who I think might be NORD's biggest super fan. He keeps arriving in my Twitch chat randomly and is like, you just know NORD are gonna take it, you know? And it's like just out of nowhere, you know? So shout outs to that guy. You were right. NORD absolutely, they did take it. Yeah. Oh yeah, and it was a very skillful way to do this as well. I don't think the draft entirely favoured them in that game whatsoever, but you see those angles that Jogger's coming out with, those clutch moments where Hunt really shows how powerful he can be, and you see NORD, they're the better players, sure, but they also have the coordination to be a really strong 5-man unit in their own right.
Veteran, this makes our playoff race very intriguing now.
Oh yeah.
The last two places. I mean, there is one problem though, and that problem is that Lightside are 2 wins behind with 3 games to go. So all the odds are on DMG and Venomcrest taking the final 2 places. Yeah. But Lightside, if they're not out of it, they're not completely out of it. And I mean, you can see the individual talent, you can see the brilliance in this roster.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see if they can make it and who they will knock out of the process, because I think DMG and Venomcrest are both good teams. But only 2 of those 3 rosters can make it to playoffs. I think the NLS will talk about that, talk about NORD's victory and everything that's happened today in the NLC. It's been a fun day on the cast here, veteran. We've had some good games, some good chats. Thank you so much for joining me. The NLS will take it from here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you after the break.
Hate you and
Break it down. Step on the gas, let's get out of town. We're gonna break out and have some fun. We're gonna do what you never done. Oh yeah, yeah. Come on, take your body with you. It's a money weekend. Everything we wanna, we go do. We go do. It's nice, so we go do.
To end the day with the bang, NORD will go on to playoffs as well after their victory versus LLS. I would like to say it was a close one. It wasn't. It was a domination coming from NORD, and the vision yet again showcased why NORD like to put up words.
Yeah, I mean that was a probably the most convincing game of the day, to be completely honest. They just had a complete grip on the whole game from the get-go. And yeah, I'm super impressed by NORD. They've continued to impress me this split. Last split they started strong and kind of fell off towards the end. This time around, NORD, just this season they've looked so crispy. It's really good to see.
On the other hand though, LLS going through a complicated situation, J-Real, this makes it quite difficult for them to look into playoffs with open arms, right?
Yeah, I think that, as I said, I wanted to see a switch up. They did switch up the game plan a bit. I think that they left themselves with a few gaps in their composition that, one, helped by the fact that they couldn't get a proactive early game. I think the proactivity has kind of been the downfall of a lot of teams in the league at the moment, but this one really shone here for Lightside. I think there was a couple of really nice plays in the bot side, some Zyra action that was able to get them out of some sticky situations, but they were never able to really kind of push the pedal themselves. It was always reliant on a mistake coming from NORD, and they just didn't really make that many. So I do feel like Lightside, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit in that game without having that kind of go button to potentially go forward. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't think they're fully cooked on chances of going through, but it definitely makes it a lot more difficult right now. 2 games below, 3 games left in hand. Realistically, Venom Crest, NORD, DMG, they only really need to take one more game and they should be golden.
So for Lightside, it's do or die, but also it's time to talk with them and have an open conversation about what happened and what could happen. So that's why we're going to introduce Jake into the interview. Welcome.
Hello.
Obviously, this is not how you want to meet me. This makes it complicated. Let's talk about Lightside's future. How are you looking towards the next games we have at hand?
I mean, just gotta reset. Realize that shit happens today, and go and win game after game after game. I still think we have quite decent chances at playoffs. Just get 3 in a row. I still think we have quite decent chances to make that, and you know, future looking on the long term as well. I think that's looking bright also, even beyond this split. So overall, I'm quite happy.
I like that. I was gonna hit on that, so we'll talk about that afterwards. So my question to you is: you have to win 3 games. You also have to expect other teams not to make it to playoffs, but at least the top of the standings, the top 4. With that in mind, how is the identity of the team so far? We often see like that bot lane shining with the AP, and then sometimes a transition to AD. Like he never played Zaya before, for instance, for Refresh. I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying like, how's the identity of the team? Do you feel like there's a struggle, or talk to me?
Not maybe a struggle. I still think we know our identity. Maybe some things have been tried out, and in our sense, trying normal stuff might be us trying something out, because that's what we do. So maybe we're just trying to cook a bit extra before playoffs. No, but I still think we have a good idea of what we want to play and how we want to go on about the next games, and we just go for the win tomorrow and then make sure to practice hard for next week and get our good champions for that as well. So I think
3 games ahead of you.
Yeah.
3 games ahead of you. Is there any of those games where you feel like it may be a problem, but are you comfortable with all of them? Obviously, fighting versus NORD, this was a rough patch, obviously. But is there any game after NORD that you believe like it could be a concern?
No, I mean, I only think that we're playing our own game, and when we lose, mostly I feel like we didn't manage to play our game to the full extent either. But of course, you know, that's NLC Division 1. It's a very high level of play, and if you fail to play your game once a game, a good team like NORD will punish you. That's just how it works. So I'm not concerned about any of the teams. I think if we play our game, we'll win all the 3 games as well. So it's all up to us.
The last game is versus Venom Crest, and that is the team that is looking for your position right now. So it's do or die. Where would you say Lightside outshines Venom Crest when they face each other?
We have the power of friendship in the team, so we'll definitely beat them there as well. No worries.
I love it. So you talked about the future, and that is often disregarded from people, especially because on Summer Split there were so many changes, and from summer to spring there's a big timeline, and people often change teams. But you told me like, hey, things are looking good towards the future. So is there anything you can tell me? Like, is this team locking in together? Like, is the future of Lightside bright?
I mean, you never know what happens team-wise, split to split, but on an organizational level, you know, qualified up now to Division 1, and of course, all eyes are on you. Will you be able to stay in Division 1? And we're already 2 times in a row in playoff contention, so as a debut season, I think that's quite damn good. And of course, next year as well, we just hope to keep building up on that and keep working on the organization side and trust the processes that we want to have in place for the team. So maybe it's going to be some people from this team, maybe it's going to be a rebuild for 2025 as well. It's always hard to know now, like half a year in advance, but I think all things considered, it feels quite good looking ahead as well for our stay here in Division 1.
Yeah, it looks like the org is walking towards a bright future with the scores you've been able to keep. Hey, thank you so much for the interview, Jake. Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Lovely. You too. Have a good day.
See ya. It's always good to at least know, like, hey, I know rough, our schedule is rough, but hey, we're making progress. Progress is progress.
Progress is progress, but that progress is quickly coming to an end with the season wrapping up.
Why are you so dark?
I just have to be. I just have to be that guy. I'm sorry. It's, you know. Yes, but damn, we are running out of time. So you got. I don't know. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I don't want to be that guy that is being negative. But that is unfortunately the outlook that you have to kind of have at this point in the season. You know, the room to grow, the space and the time you've got is heavily limited. So you got to make sure every bit of growth is a substantial step forward for you as a team.
You have to follow the memento. You know, we were doing this so well, and everybody was looking towards the future. Follow the memento. That's why we're going to talk with him on the side.
Hey, yo, that was clean. That was clean.
Clean
Transition.
Clean.
Well done.
See, somebody appreciates this. Okay, it's not easy. Hey, locked in. How you feeling?
Pretty good, I guess. I mean, it's just I don't know if are we locked in as playoffs now.
You're locked in on playoffs, by the way. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Congratulations.
That's nice. Thank you very much. That's it's still irrelevant. I don't give a shit about playoffs, to be honest.
Oh,
playoffs
you don't.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it's all about getting the trophy and beating Ruddy and fisting every other team. Now, today's game was pretty good. I'm pretty content about it. I don't know. I didn't expect us to lose. I think it was. Actually, you know what? You can do the interview. You can ask me the questions and I'll answer them.
Hey, were you expecting to lose this game?
This game? No, not really. No, I don't think so.
My question to you is, playoffs, we don't care about that. We just want to win versus Brady. My question to you is, last time you battled versus Brady, was it even a battle?
Battle, bro. We were playing with our coach as sub. This guy were like Kanye West, you know, when he does that like fucking basketball thing where he's scoring against a handicapped team, like. And they were bragging about it like they are getting fisted into the paint like next week. That's
what I want to know. Next week, you're going to play with all the players, right?
Yes, we have all our roster. Everything is settled. And then we'll take the battle out, you know. And then we do the trash talk. Then it's nice. That's what I want.
So are you telling me, just to set up the stakes, are you telling me that the previous game when you brought in the coach was specifically to make this one even spicier?
No, I mean, it was just, you know, it was really unfortunate circumstances. That's not something that we wanted, you know.
Okay.
Could you use the bait?
But when you look like NORD versus Ready, full-on team, you know, like the both teams with the proper players. Because I've been hearing a lot of discussion on Twitter coming in from a certain coach, and I love him for that, talking about this league and yada yada. It will be the end match. It will be Ready versus NORD. What can we expect?
I mean, you can expect an actual competition and not them, you know, they've been having a very easy time. They haven't really faced us yet in full form. So I think we'll give them the challenge and we'll shut them up.
Okay. On the serious note, with the new jungler, how is the jungler adapting to the team as well? Communication-wise?
Pretty good, I would say. Yoka's been adapting pretty well. He's fitting quite well in the team. I think it's going pretty good. I think we've only worked with him now for 1.5 weeks or 2 weeks at this point. So far so good. I'm excited for the growth of the team. They're working hard.
Last thing you want to say to people at home who are cheering for NORD, what would you say?
Ruddy down. That's what I want to say. Ruddy down. You know, there's one thing, like, I respect when top level teams you know, they go against another top level team and they trash talk them. But when they trash talk these like bad teams and they think they're on the top of their game, they're spitting shit, bro. That is pathetic. And they're like bullies. We're gonna take them out. They ain't surviving.
Oh, you're taking out the bully. Okay, I see where it stands.
That's it.
Thank you so much for this one.
Yeah, keep it clean.
It was a lovely
Yeah.
conversation.
Thank you very
Have
much.
a
Take
nice
care.
one.
Peace.
Yo, my guy came to the interview with the
Already
AK. Man was sending shots for Ruddy left, right, and center. The clip was emptied after that one, Archerom. They are ready. You know what? That's a good promo to set up for the final day of the season, right? Week 7, day 2. Be there. You don't want to miss none of it now.
But did you feel that little hint of, hey, we're gonna flame Ruddy, but we're also gonna flame the entire other teams?
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh, Hipran, if you wanna turn on the microphone, that would be helpful, though.
No.
Imagine me, like
Imagine
me using my mute button correctly, eh? Nah, that wasn't aimed at other teams, is what I'm saying. That was aimed directly at Ruddy. That was a kill shot. Well, it was aimed to be a kill shot. We'll see if Ruddy can fire back. Oh, this is going to be so good when those two go toe to toe, because there was some bold stuff being said there. Man, I'm so excited to see these teams go toe to toe, because they are honestly two of the best teams, especially after the DMG loss. Because I was saying at the beginning of the day that I feel that there was only a fraction between DMG and NORD. I thought NORD was second and NORD was second and DMG were third, but there was a very, very marginal difference between the two. After this, I'm starting to be a little bit more that maybe the gap between NORD and DMG has widened, where Ruddy, you know, they actually got challenged a little bit by Verdant. They still, you know, were able to pull it back. I think Verdant really misplayed the early game versus Ruddy in that game, but I'm excited to see how NORD and Ruddy fare up against each other. What I'm most excited about is once we get out of best of ones, because I think winning a best of one is a very, very different skill than winning a best of 3. I think even getting into the best of 5s, you know, it's the ability to adapt, the ability to read, like almost the kind of mini meta, because you almost get like a micro meta that forms within each of the games and within each of the series, and certain champs that maybe have higher priority in these games that wouldn't have higher priority in other games comes up, and it gets so fun. So we'll start to see who the best teams are based on obviously their ability to kind of play these best ofs, because they are it's a whole other beast trying to tackle them.
As soon as we jump into playoffs, tell me, J-Real.
Yeah, I gotta say, shout out to Joker as well. I feel like we didn't talk about too much about the breakdown of the match, but I feel like he's kind of come in, obviously, like last week. Great games last week, continuing it this week. And also what I liked about today was that I kind of had him down as like AP jungler, going for damage, comes in, plays Maokai. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
He has pulled out the tanks, he has pulled out the proactive champions as well. He's a good addition. At least Nords are shining with that one. But hey, if you want to put them on your fantasy league, it's time to do it, because we're about to wrap up the entire split. So go as fast as possible so you can be up for one of these prizes. Steel Cities Apex Pro, TKL, Steel Cities Nova 7, or even Middlecott's mouse. Signed by him and sent by him.
I got one of them as well.
No, but Middlecott promised
permanent.
on there.
Middlecott's not. Look,
No, is it? Yeah.
I got my one. I absolutely love this thing. Genuinely, I know they're a sponsor, so it looks like this is a sponsored segment, but I personally am not sponsored by SteelSeries, and I can say this is the best wireless mouse I've ever had. Like,
Trust
I absolutely
me.
adore this thing. It's brilliant.
I know Hip Rain. If he would say the
I
truth
speak my mind.
regardless
If
he was,
it was garbage, I don't care.
Even
about
if he was
sponsors, I would say it.
sponsored, he would speak his mind. So yeah, it's a good mouse. Keep that one in mind. So those are for the fantasy league. So build up your own league and then win it, and maybe you can win something back. But for us, are we winning, son? Because we're talking about those predictions.
Oh,
Let's
no.
show it. Oh, guest.
I got 0
Oh
points.
my guest.
Yeah, it's not looking good, bruv. I need two Fun Lights and a assist token, bruv, because yeah, it's not
He got
the
so
best.
London.
It's not the best. I won't lie, but you know what? I stay true. I stay true to the heart of the NLC Div 2. So I cannot be mad about it. Maybe a little bit, because I wish Free Freshly played Aurelion, so I'll be real. But
Yeah.
apart from that, I'm alright with it. You know, it happens. Swings to roundabouts. You got to play the game to try and win, and it didn't pay off today.
I mean, as a guest, you're not allowed to be salty about mad about it. Just salty, man. You know, it happens. It happens. Hey, by the way, Tarek joined as a guest, and he got 2 perfect days. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but Torok is the GOAT though. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, giving him too much credit. Nah, you lost.
How can you be known by just saying your name in chat? Like, he just types Torok, and then the chat would just Torok up. You know, like it's.
You know what?
That guy's a GOAT in the NLC.
That guy's a GOAT.
He is.
Yes.
He really is.
Let's understand if you're the GOAT in terms of standings. Oh boy.
God.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait,
Oh.
Foxy's on 0 points. He's
Come
just started
on.
fresh. It's a
We
clean slate.
made an agreement not to go negative, Fox.
He's not. He's in
getting
his
really
defense.
close.
He's not negative right now.
Give him
What
time.
I'm saying is, I've kept us 4th. I've not let us fall or go higher, but I kept us consistent.
No,
You've got
you
the
don't
guest type
understand.
of duckling, and that is bad enough in its own right.
Exactly, that's the
But also
issue.
Archeron, like,
Yeah, what's up?
we're tied. We're tied, brother.
No, you don't understand this. I'm the
I've
host,
just gone
so I
up
have,
though.
yeah, I have to be in the middle. I'm the host. I have to be in the middle, you know? I have to separate the play-by-plays from the analysts, and somehow this season is really weird because they're trying initialize. I don't understand
All
what
right,
happened.
hold on. I'm coming in to defend myself here because a lot of you lot, even you, Archer, you're new. You're new in my eyes. I've been here since day one. I have been here since UKLC. I've been here since the UK Premiership. Back in the day, I was the GOAT for predictions. I used to get it perfect. I was giving you lot all hope. I was pretending to be bad. I was letting the newbies come in and have their lovely little time. Playtime's over. I'm here to show up and kill it in predictions.
How long
Don't
have you been
forget
here,
who
Del?
I am. I am granddad at this place now. This is
How long have
my
you been
house.
here? How long have you been on this
What,
this
on-
league? Yeah.
Well, so NLC since it formed.
Yeah.
The UK scene, which is now an attachment to NLC, 8 years, 9
Man,
maybe,
and you're
time.
still terrible at making predictions. So
No, that's what I'm saying, bro.
I'm just letting you
in.
know. I'm letting you lot know. We gotta end the show. So final remarks. This is the game for tomorrow. We're gonna start with DMG versus Burden. Venom Crest will take on NORD. That's going to be a spicy one. LLS versus Blue Whites after the first victory, and then we're gonna finish it up versus Natives and Ruddy. Ruddy already locked in for playoffs. Let's see if NORD and Ruddy will be able to dictate their seed tomorrow. Well, you have to wait and see it. But until then, J-Real, final words.
It's been great. I've loved it. NLC Div 1, it's been a banger. Thank you very much, Hipran. Thank you very much, Archeron, for taking me through the desk with me today. It's been a banger. It's been great. If you want to catch more action after Div 1's finished, Div 2's on Thursdays and Fridays, so make sure you tune in. By the end of the day, yeah, it's been a banger. And we'd love to come back.
Granddad, final words.
I love you, Gerald. You've done amazing, mate. You've done real good.
you did.
Love having you on it. You might have been the worst in predictions, but you've been the closest to my heart of the guests.
Let's go.
By the way, you were the only guest he worked with. I'm just letting you know.
No, I worked with. Oh no, this is bad. I've forgotten his name. Oh,
Lovely.
I can't
There you
say.
go. He
I
doesn't
have worked
even
with another
know.
guest, but I forgot their name.
Wow. Hey, we'll watch the VODs. If you want to watch the VODs, follow us on every single social media. Until then, I'll wait for you tomorrow. Probably Hipran will know that name by tomorrow. And until then, keep climbing, never stop. I'll see you soon. Come on, Hipran. You gotta know people name.
At SteelSeries, we make the headsets, mice, and keyboards that the world's best gamers win the most with. And we've been doing it since way back. It's up to you how far you go, but whatever you do, go for glory.